generational curses, is it something that we need to be concerned about? And if so, what can we do?
We're dealing with the issue of generational curses. I want to talk to you today on this podcast about removing generational curses in the courts of heaven.
Somebody's been living up under a generational curse.
Because once you shift your thinking on it, you will never again deal with the
generational curses. What are they and how can they be broken?
Your children's children. See, that's a curse that comes from a generation before you. It could be alcoholism. It could be adultery. It could be suicide.
God said some of you are breaking generational curses and you don't even know it. And that's why it's been so hard. And that's why it's been so strong. And that's why it's been so dark. Because you're so strong and you're so positioned and you're so important to his purpose.
Galatians 3:13 through 14 says this: Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. It is written, cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree, that the blessings of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Jesus Christ, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. The Apostle Paul states that Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law by becoming a curse for us. When Paul refers to the law, he means the Mosaic law found in the first 5 books of the Bible, which instructed the Israelites how to properly worship and honor God through various commands and requirements. The Greek word for redeemed in the Bible is exagorazo. It was a financial term that referred to the process of purchasing a slave's freedom. When a slave was redeemed, he or she was no longer bound to the rules and expectations of a slave's life. So, to be redeemed from the curse of the law means to be set free from its rules and regulations. Jesus fulfilled the original intention and purpose of the Mosaic law on our behalf. What we could not do in perfectly obeying God's will laid out in the law, Christ did for us. In that way, he fulfilled the law and accomplished what God intended. Jesus is the Redeemer, becoming a curse for us and purchasing us from the slavery of sin through his death on the cross. So here's the matter of the issue. The term generational curse is a term outside of the Bible because it's not found in the Bible. And yes, there are instances like the word homosexual. It's not in the Bible, but it says a man lying with a man is an abomination. So there's a concept and straightforward meaning. And though generational curses is not mentioned in the Bible, but there is a concept. For example, in Deuteronomy 5:9, it says, you shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parent to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me. But as mentioned in Galatians, Christ redeemed us from the curse. So the best way to put this is change the wording from generational curses to generational patterns. For example, your great-grandfather drank and grandfather and father drank. But when it came to your generation, you decided, I can do better. I'm not going to drink. And as a matter of fact, I detest alcohol. Therefore, I'm going to pass my wisdom and foresight onto my children and tell them about the perils of drinking. See, it's a pattern of behavior, and it's something that's observed. It's something that's taught, or experienced, and is passed from generation to generation who accepts it. Now, the same can be said for those who have the acumen of generational wealth, because it's been taught, it's been observed, it's been passed on from generation to generation. So there is no curse because we are redeemed because of Christ. But in order to change the fortunes of our families or to continue, good or bad, it's about patterns that we are taught, patterns that we observe, and patterns that we see. Generational patterns. Enough said.